interested in what's going on in the county and St. Louis being experienced. I can't believe it, but today makes 4 months exactly. And I ain't kidding, it feels like a year and a half. But I'm gonna stick with it, do the best I can, and come in here every day and give you a full day's work and just do the best I can, move this county forward. We've got all kinds of potential, and we just have to work at it. And that's what I'm going to do. But before we get started, I'd like for everybody to stand and make Brother John Lewis do some prayers. The main thing is to pledge allegiance, and I'll kind of give you a rundown. And any questions you got to ask, I want you to do so.
Some of you weren't here, but you did a good job. Let's do it again. God is good.
All the time.
Heavenly Father, we just love you today. It's been a beautiful day. We come to this meeting this evening, Lord. We're thankful we can be together with friends and people we love and care about. And Lord, the Bible says, without you we can do nothing. And if we lack wisdom, to ask you. And so we're just counting on that tonight. We give our lives to you. Bless our judge, our magistrates, and everything that's said and done tonight may it be pleasing to you. Because when it is, the Bible says all things work together for good for those that love God. And we love you in Jesus' name. And everybody said,
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Try to make this as quick and as simple to understand as I can, but while I'm reading, if you didn't understand what I said or got a question about a number, if you just say, can you repeat that, I'll be glad to do so. But first of all, again, I want to thank y'all for coming, and what makes a difference in a community, the citizens being involved, and it's not me behind the desk or even the matrix behind the desk. We're working for you. And this is our tax money, and I just want to be the best we can be of it, and I want to treat everybody the way I want to be treated, and move this county forward. And again, I just want to take a minute just to kind of clarify some stuff up. And I know everybody gets the paper and everybody watches Facebook and all this other stuff, but and maybe I should have addressed it before now, because I'm actually 2 weeks behind on having this form. This is actually April form. A few weeks ago, there was some stuff put in the paper about, and I know everybody knows that I don't have a road foreman, and I just went through the legal process of the court to have them appoint. Well, it's not a matter of them appointing, it's them saying it's a fair salary. And I have not asked for 1 penny more for Johnny Stacy that I appointed to be the road foreman than Jimbo Combs made past previous 4 years, and even what Buddy Hatch made when he was in there, even the year before that. And again, I know some people, I've seen them comment and say, man, I take it for that. Again, a road foreman is a job that you need to be qualified, certified to be a road foreman, and it's a 24/7 hour job. If you go into McDonald's, they're going to know when you're going to work on the road, when you're going to cut the wheel. They just go with it. But it's more than just a 40-hour-a-week job. It's an unending job. Just when you're sleeping good and it's storming outside, that's when the trees don't fall. But they had in the paper that taxpayers was having to pay for legal fees that I worked. There was nothing to that. I paid every penny out of my pocket. And you all won't be responsible for my legal part of it, I promise you that. If it was something to do with the county business, that would be different. But this is, and I just wanted to clear that up, so, and let everybody know that you all ain't have 1 penny. I took that to pay on my own. And we got some more stuff to address, but I just want to kind of give a rundown on. Let me get the digging out of the way first. I I kind of give you a rundown, and I have done it for the last 2 months, but, give you an update on the liquid audit sheriff bills that we've accumulated. It was up to $148,942.74. And again, I ain't heard this, but in the meantime, we have paid $33,000 on it in 4 months. And 25 of this actually came from money that was left over from the sheriff's department after their money was all turned in this year. So we paid that on it and paid additional $8,000. And the balance on it right now is $115,942.70. Also, it's not in delinquent yet, and I ain't got the exact amount, but I know it's $85,000 and some dollars. I do know that ever since I've been here, they've been in here auditing the sheriff's department. They still ain't got last year cleared bid. So that's going to be on top of this. One bill that I almost fell out of my chair in here, got a call in the sheriff's office there one day, and we got a call, and it was collecting agency on medical bills. And they said, do you realize that you've been turned over collecting agency for $585,000? And I said, I sure don't. So they set up a conference call for the next Monday, and then I did fall out of my chair. They called back and said, we owe $765,000. But in the meantime, I told them to send me a bill of everybody that they had, that we had and that they paid. And they actually sent a list. It was almost like it just had somebody's name on it, had county's names on it, they had stuff all over the wall. We were actually getting charged for Wolf County, Lee County. Some people that didn't have a name said they couldn't find a person on it. So when they finally got down to it, they said we owe $439,000. So I offered them a settlement of $43,500. And didn't hear nothing for a couple of weeks, and then he called back and went over, we had a thing set up with the hospital to pay 30%, and we did not. But the sheriff's department, the jailers over in Freeport had actually signed a contract for us to pay 30%. So that didn't hold water. So anyway, we took all the inmate bills that we had and adjusted it for what Medicare paid, and we ended up getting it down to $29,451.93, and that has been paid. We got a cold servant money fund that I wasn't expecting, and the only thing it could be used for was inmates and medical bills. We pretty much used all that money up now, right, Charlotte?
Yes.
And it was $173,000, I think it was. We pretty much caught up on the jail bills right now, Charlotte?
Yes.
Is everything paid for?
Like 1 month, I think, there, but we've got the money to pay that also.
So, to me, right there is a miracle. I mean, like I say, when I come in every time, if it had 502 on it, I don't want to afraid to answer the phone. I just do it, collecting agency, medical bill, it wasn't good. So anyway, we got that paid off, and then right now I'll kind of give you the fund, what we've got available, and it's not a lot. And this was as of 3/23. So, is that right?
331.
3/31. And again, that's because I was going to have this meeting earlier. But right now in the general fund, we have $17,098.25. And remind you, this has got to last till July. We have got some occupational taxes coming in. This is probably your last round. It will be your last round. So, in occupational license, I'm one of my secretaries on. She's been really busy. Actually went out today, matter of fact, and went down to the one that's renovating at McDonald's and seen if they had a license, and they didn't, so we got an occupational license. She has got 24 here in the last little bit signed up. So that's not just $2,400 that we got from that, but we'll end up getting 1% occupational tax back. We'll have to go back and get a CPA or whoever to get those again. Emergency 911 fund, we have $2,941.59 in right now. Her ABC fund has $30,657.22. Her solid waste fund has got $83,755.23 in it. Her LEGA has $35.01 in it. The 911 officer fund has $451.37 in it. Health insurance coordinator has $2,605.15 in it. The finance officer right now has 0 balance in it. And what Charlotte's been doing when it comes time to pay finance officer 911, she's having to transfer it out of health and put it in that to do it. So, and again, this has to last us to July 1st. Anybody got any questions on the numbers? No questions? Okay. And then again, when you see these boys out on the road department, again, I'm the acting road foreman. I go over and give her duty of the day, and I don't know how they feel. You have to talk to them, but the last month and a half, I think it went really well. I've got a couple roads that I want to brag on. I was on the court for 8 years ago, and a couple of these places I never got a thank you or anything else, but I got just opposite of it plenty of times. But Quicksand Creek, I seen Jamie's here. How many weeks did you work on Quicksand Creek, Jamie?
About 5 weeks.
5 weeks. Before in the past, they'd say, go to Quicksand, they get a grader blade down, and they jerk it out and run it over the agreement fork. And so what I decided to do is put a grader in one place, stay on it till it was fixed. I don't know how many drain pipes he put in, but it's got a ditch for the first time in a long time. Those people have called. Matter of fact, I had a guy come in today and thank me for it. He said that's the best that road's ever been, and the smoothest it's ever been. So I want to thank Jamie for that. He getting it done. He's been on probably just about 3 roads for the last 2 months, ain't he?
Big Lovely.
Big Lovely, Mine Shaft Road. So he's staying in that area, and as he works his way out, we're gonna get everything to come out of South Fork. Without emergency comes up, we're not pulling them off. But maybe starting, the middle of this week, for the next couple of weeks, I'd like to see if we can get all these cemetery roads done, and where people can get out and decorate the graves and stuff. So if you got a road that needs worked on, just be patient with me. But be sure and call me and let me know that it ain't been worked on. If you don't call and let me know, I can't work on it. I've got a list that's already in there, and when it gets called 2 times, I'll make a second start. When it gets called 3 times, if we can, I'll go ahead and pull off and try to fix that. And we've got several of those out. District 2, the other grader, it just came out this week, matter of fact. Bryan Creek up there, and I don't know how many people have been on Bryan Creek, but it's a long road. Matter of fact, I'll tell this one story. When I run for judge 4 years ago, when I ran this time, the worst road I was on was Bryan Creek before. It was just a rough road that didn't have any houses, but it was rough. And I went over and talked to those people, and they said, yes, we're gonna give you a chance. So the day after the election, that's the first place I went. I don't know how many people know Bo Bryant, but he was sitting on the porch, and I got out and headed over through there, and he looked, and he said, and hard at his wife. And I got over and I said, son, I just come over here to thank you. He said, I'm gonna tell you what I said about you. And I said, what'd you say about me? He said, I told you I'd vote for you, and I did. But I told my wife we'd never see you again. Kind of made me laugh, but kind of sad in a way too. I mean, but that road's in a lot better shape than it's been in a long time. We actually went to Freeman Fork. Actually, I wish Dave was here. He spent weeks and weeks. He was just like Jamie was in Quicksand. He stayed up there forever. But it got it fixed. So that's my plan for a road. And again, when you see these boys out, I go over there and I swear I don't know what they say behind my back. They get their stuff and go do it. And I've been really pleased. I sure am. And another thing, a bridge fund. I know y'all heard me talk about it, and I told you I need to back up a little bit. I told you that we lost out on 18 and 19 bridge funds completely. We talked to Craig, and I cannot tell you what his last name is, but he said if y'all do a good job and try to get these done, he's gonna back up and let us apply for the bridges that we didn't get. I wish Calvin was here. He actually got $92,000 for bridges to turn in. It's 80-20 match. But since being in office, and so either today or tomorrow, we have 3 bridges completely built. I mean, from scratch. And then he put guardrails on one. And I really think that's tremendous. I mean, and one of them had about an 80-foot head wall. But like I say, when you see Calvin, and I ain't gonna start calling names because I'll leave somebody else. But I really appreciate those boys. It looks like they may be able to back up and get about $80,000 that we didn't think we was gonna get. And then we have to apply for, and then they'll let us apply for 19 and 20. But again, they're supposed to be done by June, so time's moving on. Another thing on that, our Elkview project. I don't know how many people goes up to the Elkview or been up through there. And again, I know when I was running, I heard they run a water line up to the Elkview, and I'll be the first one to say, man, how can they run water line to the Elkview when everybody ain't got water? But this was a completely different fund. This is the AML pilot fund. Only thing it can do is something to promote tourism and job industrial. So they were talking about the hydroponic garden. That was what they used to try to use that toward creating jobs. And the other was ATV horse trail riding. And again, until about a month ago, I'd never been on a trail up there, I'll just be honest. And Kenny took me around those trails, and we had just about 3 weeks ago, out of the Department of Local Government, we had a Chris Musgrave, he's actually over tourism. Shane Baker, he's over the EMP and then Frankfurt. Chris Fugit, he was a senator, and had several judges and representatives. And we went up there and rode about 4 hours, and I kind of felt guilty, to tell you the truth, about riding on ATV and getting paid for it. But I really think it was a productive day. Chris Musgrave, I seen him today, matter of fact, he assured me that we're gonna get our money to build a campground up there, and it's, and again, so y'all might say, you know, why you working on that? Hey, this is a tremendous thing, and it's not just for Breathitt County. This is, when Musgrave and them left, they left from Knott County, drove through Curry County and Breathitt County. But when they got to Breathitt County, they said they couldn't believe what we had to offer. So I just think it's a win-win. I think it'll bring money in here. People come in here and ride. Matter of fact, we got our horse trail ride coming up, and I got the dates here, 16th, 17th, and 18th. Knott County, I talked to the judge again today. They had a little over 2,000 people signed in up there, and he said they really doing good on the profit this year. I'm afraid when those people come to Breathitt County and ride our trail rides, it'll really hurt Knott County, because all of our rides is in the shade, and we've got a lot to offer up there. Another thing that I'm proud of since I've been in office, but I mean, this was probably in the work before I came in, but I really don't think it was, because the Estimates Water Department had put it together when I came in office, but we was approved of $750,000 grant to run water line extension. And I think this is, and that was a zero match. At first it was gonna be $500 with a little match money, and again, this goes back to Commissioner Sandy Donahue. She was from Lee County. She got, she loved this area, and she wants to see it grow. And matter of fact, I'm going down Friday to meet with her in the Department of Local Government to try to nail down this money for this Elkview, or part of it. And another thing we got approved of a $1.2 million grant for the Jupiter Health Center, and the water tank that's going up there to provide for it. And I don't know if anybody's seen the pictures that I posted, but it didn't do it justice. I'd like for you to take time to go over by Lakeside over there, and we have got a facility as good as anywhere in the United States. And it's really going to be a blessing to our county, I think. So I encourage you to go over there, but again, $1.2 million is a pretty good grant that, a lot of counties would love to have, but, we got it. Let's see, one more thing. Okay, somebody actually went to the governor's mansion. I was there along with 16 other judges. He had a long talk with, they tried to get a House Bill 200 passed back in, when legislature was going on, but he didn't make it. But he promised that he was gonna put in $26.5 million. He was gonna put that just aside for the coal-producing counties that have been hit the way we have, that ain't got no jobs, and before, I don't know if y'all know how that coal service money went, but we got 120 counties. They got the same thing we did. So, they tried to get the House Bill 200, what it was to encourage the counties that did produce any coal to get on board to let the counties that did produce coal get the money. And it didn't get on there, but Bevins again, I know it's election right around the corner, but he promised that he was gonna put that on the budget. So that would be a good thing. Another thing, I just got an email while ago and didn't read it all, but J.C. Young, he is the one over KCOL that fights for coal-producing counties. And we have got a $100 million grant for coal-producing counties, hopefully, the way I understood it. I hate to say that, it might be, it may be wrong. But either way, if it is for 120 counties, we're gonna get a pretty good share of that. And this is ARC money. This can go towards the same thing like the LQ up there. Those kind of things. And I think that's about all I've got on my list. Well, just today, I've been up to the airport and had Governor Bevins was there, Congressman Hal Rogers, Andrew Begley out of Hal Rogers' office, Chris Musgrave, Sandy Donahue, Commissioner, Senator Brandon Smith, Representative Chris Fugit, several judges. They had a real good turnout, and I don't know how much it'll help us, but in 20 years, they're gonna need 118,000 aircraft mechanics. Would you believe that we're just graduating 360 people a year? You know, so, these young kids, I wish they could look, and they don't have to be a young person, start off at $61,000 a year, as a mechanic, so. That's something for y'all to think about again. I appreciate you coming down. And again, I'm looking forward to going back down to Frankfurt Friday. The masters are going. They just want us to get on board and show that we are interested in moving the county forward.
I just want to say it's a lot better than it was the last forum meeting, guys.
And like I say earlier, to take place 4 months, and when I say it feels like a year and 6 months, I ain't kidding.
Did they say where the training facility would be for those aircraft?
No, it's actually Eastern Kentucky University, 2 years ago, had 35 students. This year, they got 216 listed. Actually, it's EKU and Hatter Community, so it's going to be Hatter Community and EKU, but he's been in London today, and he's also leaving there going to Big Sandy. So, you know, I don't know if it's going to be.
They're going to have to create a satellite facility.
He didn't go into detail on it, and again, I mean, they were just hitting the high spots, and had about 4 or 5 people talking, taking trips, a couple, and I probably couldn't hear them.
You talking that kind of money, you very good.
You know, but you know, it's encouraging. I mean, and he said the future looks as bright as it ever did. Again, I mean, they're trying to, what they're doing, they're targeting, and they bragged on the airport for reclaimed property. I mean, everybody was sitting on a trip job, probably been reclaimed. And give you this information, Chris Fugit told me they were looking at seeing if they could maybe get them to expand that runway about 7,000 feet, where they could actually land commercial vehicles in here. And I mean, and then Hal Rogers, he kept saying, you know, work ethics are 0 to none. I know I started talking about jobs, and I didn't do that. I want to name that. People say, where are you going to get people to work at? go in these counties about 5 o'clock in the morning and see how many people are leaving on Lexington and Georgetown and Winchester and Pikeville and Prestonburg that would love to lay in bed an hour and a half longer in the morning and get home an hour and a half earlier in the day. And we do have good work ethics. And again, talking about the job thing, and let's see how in the world we cover that. No, that's another thing, and again, when I looked for today, Bevan said, he said the most important mile of blacktop may be the one on the runways. And I know when he first came in here in December, I went to a forum that he had up there at Leeds College, and first, there I was trying to introduce myself, first thing he done was worry about what I was going to do about that big hole at the airport, and I thought, myself, big hurt. I didn't know if he flew in here and there's a big hole in the air, but it just been resurfaced a couple of years ago, but it was a break that was in the road. But Sandy Donahue at that meeting, she said, have you ever thought about what you may do with that airport? And I said, no, really not. And I said, not since I've been in here. I said, but 8 years ago, I said, I envisioned the prison being up there. And a federal prison being built in Letcher County right now. And, it's the closest it's probably never happened. She asked me, she said, you ever think about a women's prison? I hadn't. But she's looking at the legislation on it and looking at maybe if that would be, and again, I don't want somebody running saying they're closing the airport down, but, I'm looking at what we can do to create jobs and make our county better. And again, on the job part, I have been talking about trying to bring jobs in here, and matter of fact, they were talking about broadband and how to improve high-speed internet in here. To get good jobs in here, that's a must anymore. You have to have it. And we don't have the best internet everywhere, but I actually did get to go to Haddon Community College today. They had it on a bad day. It was to discuss broadband. But I felt going up there with the governor and congressman would be more important than that. But again, job is still my priority, but kids are my main priority. If we don't get jobs in here, we won't have to worry about talking about the kids, because they're going to leave when the parents leave. And the population is declining. At this time, I'm going to open the floor up. We're kind of doing, if you got a question to ask, raise your hand, and I'll address it. We'll be in there, Mr. Carroll.
Has anybody decided to take over the payroll like yet?
No, but you named Pamela Lake today, and Laura Thomas was up there today, and she was talking, and I don't remember who she said she talked to try to get something going for the lake, and would you believe they told her it was too big? And again, I don't know what she had, I didn't get to talk to her in detail. But,
all these counties around, and they're stocking it with trees, publicity, and a couple businesses around it.
And again, I haven't addressed that, but Laura has, and I heard her comment on today when she was actually talking to Sandy Donahue, I think the commissioner, either her or maybe Chris, no, it was Chris Musgrave, over 2 years ago. So they were talking, and I don't, and that's as most I heard of today.
You know what the lady said about you, don't you?
It's until
He won't be back.
when they don't come back, you gotta go with them.
Right.
And I ain't bragging, but I've been to Frankfurt, where I can get around pretty good in the Capitol building down there. So, and that's a hard place to. Don't think you can't get lost in there. The first time I was in there, I didn't know where I was at and how I knew I had to go down. But they go out the same door I went in, and it took me a while to figure out how to get around those.
They got more knives down there than they got Breathitt County.
But that's all I can tell you about Pamela. I do know that Laura had a conversation today with Ted Musgrave over 2 of them. Anybody else got anything?
I just want to thank the county for the countywide cleanup. It was blessed to me, as much as a whole lot of other people was working.
Okay, since you got on that, I actually had a note made, but I didn't want to talk about it. Calvin's here, and I'll let him, he's got the numbers written down. He can give them a short while ago. I've got them down, but he kind of oversees that project, and I'll let him give you the numbers on it. You got that,
Okay.
Calvin?
I would consider it a pretty successful cleanup. We got 181.88 tons of trash and 44 tons of metal, and then that trash doesn't count the wood that's brought in. So if you factor that in, I would estimate probably 200 tons of trash total, and last year it was 100 tons, so just about double the size.
And again, it was, give them the cost on what it cost to put that on, $8,000, you got those numbers?
$8,372.12 was the trash bill for that.
And then the metal that we actually ended up taking up there, we got it, was what, you got it?
The metal was $3,961.35, and, which I guess that's almost half of what her cleanup costs, so that'll go a long way towards easing the burden of that.
And again, I do, it was a success, and again, I know somebody come in and said, you mean you ain't gonna have one? I didn't know we weren't gonna have one, when they started saying, I said I wasn't gonna have one, but we did have one, and I feel in my heart, we hadn't had it brought up there, they were threw it over the hill, we had to clean it up and got nothing for it. I really believe that. Not all of it, but a lot of it would. But I do appreciate everybody taking part in that. I did get to talk to Ham Rogers today, but I did get with his office. I've been trying to get some money out of them. Actually, last year it cost us $16,000. Do you remember what it was, Calvin?
Not the total, somewhere between 15 and 16.
It was around $116,000. This year we picked up, how many more tons you say?
We just about doubled her ton. Yeah, I'd say 200 ton.
And it costed us $8,000 some dollars, but the reason that being, I didn't let them bring their dumpsters down here because they charge you every $350 to bring it down, and then they haul it. So we end up using our county workers to load it up and take it up, and we put twice the thing on it was last year, pretty close to it for half the money, and then the money that we collected, but we took them probably at $4,000 or $5,000. But I think that was really good. Anybody else got a question?
Is there a KRS for a magistrate that's not living in this district, but he's a magistrate in District 4, living in District 1? I know that's not it's not hunky-dory,
They are KRS, and we have one of the masters here, you probably won't take KRS to you, but I can't, but, my understanding, if you, are master in your district, you live in your district, but, it would be a complaint that the people would have to file to address that.
How would the people file a complaint about that? How would we do that? Could we file it in physical court or what?
You could, or you can come in, we get you DLG, you don't do it with the physical court, you would actually do it with, DLG, Department of Local Government. Pardon? The Attorney General. Attorney General. Well, that would be the one who got you through that, we could probably got numbers that I can come up with, on any kind of complaint or that.
so we come in any day, Jeff, or we need to call and schedule an appointment or what?
No, I'm here, just call before I come, if I ain't at the road department, or tomorrow got a meet at 12, I'll be in here in the morning and tomorrow afternoon. If you want to make sure I'm here, just call. Just 3800 extension 224, I'm ready to let you know. And if you're coming and I'm out, I'll let you know how to come down. But you don't have to have an appointment to get up with me. If I'm here, you won't have to come in. That's your office. I just happen to be behind the desk. Anybody else?
Actually, I have more than one thing, but I won't start saying anything I say is not a personal attack at either magistrate or either judge. I don't agree with everything the judge has done or the magistrate, but it's not what we agree on, it's what can be justified that it happens. We all have different ideals, but one thing, it's about a three-part question I want to ask about Ms. Bailey. How much money did the county save by replacing her? And she said, here's what she can answer this for me. Did anybody go talk to her one-on-one before this took place? And has she ever been rolled up for anything since she's been treasurer? Because the reason I'm asking this, I work for Charlotte at the sheriff's department. There's the sheriff I worked under. She was excellent on her taxes. If she was a penny short, she found out where it was at. I watched her say 2, 3, 4 hours. So, you know, I think as citizens, this is things that we should know. You know, this fiscal court works for us. We don't work for them. And I think as taxpayers, as citizens, and as voters, we have the right to know what's going on and have a reason to explain to us why we can just go pick somebody out. Because I've talked to this gentleman once before, I told him this county has always been good old boy politics. Personally, I think it's time for good old boy politics to done away with. Keep the nature going, so I'd like to have some more on this.
Okay, I'll start off, and I like what you said the first time, and I'll be the first one to admit, my way ain't always the right way. I may be a little hard-headed and stubborn, but I've always had an agenda, and if I do my agenda and I mess up, I'm big enough man to own up to it. Will we agree on everything? No, we won't agree on everything, but I reckon we're grown men, we can agree to disagree, but we still can agree. And a lot of times I've tried things my way, they ain't worked, and I've tried it. And the other way works, you know. And again, to say something about Charlotte, I've been in here 4 months, and it seems like a year and a half. I seen her sitting there and add, crack $27 missing, and I don't look like I see, so you're at $27 and bound to go on home. But she won't, she wouldn't quit. And it'd be deposited in another account or whatever. And one thing about it, I've enjoyed coming in, I enjoy going in to Charlotte, that I can ask her for something, and it won't be but a second, and I'll have my answer. And it's been a pleasure to work with her. And will we save any money? No, Charlotte paid last year she had it printed in the paper, was $44,000.
It's $44,040 or something, it was 44 something, it was less than 44,100.
And she's been here quite a while, I see John L. Turner back here.
$44,022.
Okay, that's what,
And she is on hourly pay, has been since I've been here.
I started out at $40,000, and after a year, Judge Richardson was the judge at the time, and he said, if you do a good job and good looks, and I'll move you up to $45,000. And I was on salary, and under Judge J.L. Smith. And one day he come in my office and he said, there's 3 people that's on salary. And I'm sorry to tell you, but we're gonna have to take you off of salary. And I said, Judge, have I done something wrong? No, there's one that's abusing the system. He's coming in just different times, he's leaving, and I'm gonna have to take you all off of salary. And I said, you mean you have to punish us all because of one person? And he said, yes. So he took me off of salary at that time, and I'd been hourly. And I'm sure that you all have heard of the 3 that they brought in and put them as salary, and I am still hourly. And those 3 was finance officer, DES, and janitor. So those are salary, and I'm hourly.
And let me kind of address that. And let me finish the question up that you asked. How much did it save? It's going to cost around another $6,000. His pay will be, and he'd also be able for incentive training that we'll be part of. How much?
54, 55 when he's training.
I guess, I know the master training this year was $4,200. I don't know if that pay goes depending on the trainer versus.
I think the budget in the line item for that, like $4,400 is what they usually budget for the incentive training.
So
If
you
you
take-
go and get your training, 40 hours training.
So you take 44 and then 6,000 right there, so another 10,000.
Now, is that 6,000, is that regulated by the state or the fiscal court work? Who approved I mean, if it's 44,000, how's it up to 50,000? Sort of.
We matter.
Yeah, it wasn't anything in a plan. I am working on a plan, putting a plan together, a resolution, a pay scale. If you're a secretary, this much, and, you know, I'm trying to put something in balance, and then I do think you need to look at the employees. I guess we just got one county worker, but, we got a county worker over there the other day come to me, and he said he'd been there 14 years and hadn't even had a raise. You know,
Makes $10.09 an hour, been there 14 years.
so, and then we got another one that makes just $1 more than I think, and another one makes $1.50 more, but, then I don't even know what, I don't want to say what you make, that's okay, but, you know, we got several that need to be looked at, and I'm gonna look at that, and without being a year, I'm gonna look at these people and evaluate them, and, ask the court to, you know, but, again, we gotta have money to pay them. And I want to address what Charlotte said about they took her off salary and put 3, and I'm not talking about any of the employees, not another position, but first week I was in office, I cut the employees here and cut courthouse down to 32-hour work week. Because we ain't got the money to pay for here, work week, tell you the truth. And Charlotte was one of them, but, I needed her every day. My secretary, I needed her every day. So it kind of trickled down. Those 3 was the ones who were working 4 days a week. And I really think they done it just to, and I can't quote you there, they've been working, but our admin code says 32 is a full work week. I won't be surprised if some of these employees ain't working 32-hour work week under salary. And if they are, it's costing the county 20% raise just to put them on salary. And don't hold me those figures. I'm not formulated that yet, but I'm just going by when they come in and when they leave and when they don't even show up.
I'd like for the treasurer, are they some kind of standards you have to meet? Now, this is all rumor. I've been checking after this, because Charlotte, it really offended me, because I know personally how Charlotte's standards was. Now, this is rumor, I think it ought to be checked. The one that they appointed to the sheriff's department office, the prior county clerk's office, and even the child support audit, when we got trouble with child support, the county attorney, the individual that they appointed is the same that was the one doing their books. If that's so, we're getting ripped off. And Mitch, I like his family, but it's not about who we like, it's about who is qualified and who can do the job. This is taxpayer money. You know, that's 6,000, makes like 10,000. One other thing, I heard the jailer was about ready to get $29,000, some $100 more on the year. That's going to be a total of $61,000. That's, to me, my figure is $35,700 more roughly on the year for a county that is saying we're broke. And we can't fix bridges to get to people's offices, can't fix roads. So that don't make sense.
Yeah, you know, again, financially, we're hurt. I mean, our cold service money has trickled down to nothing. I knew what I was getting into when I ran for this position, but when they couldn't make payroll in November, it worried me. And don't think, when I give you these numbers of what we got in general fund and stuff, read this so low, Charlotte has robbed these accounts just to put in other accounts just to make payroll and stuff. And again, I wish we could give everybody a raise, but I mean, you gotta stay within your means, and my answer would be you should go to the masters that has took upon themselves to just go ahead and put him in that position. What bothered me about it more than anything, and don't think I ain't been hurt since I've been in this position, but I didn't have a clue that they were going to replace her. As a matter of fact, I would have brought her up and recommended her for them to leave her in that position. We got some auditors here now. I want them to speak. I know they had some stuff in the paper about this and that, but if you look at the 2018 audit, I mean, she's spot on. And she is worried. She is worried herself sick, worrying about what people think. If she took money or moved money around, just look at her audit. Her track record shows what she's done. But to bring it up in a court meeting and just say, hey, you ain't got no job come July, I don't like it.
We don't.
What the people need to do is go to each of their magistrates.
Even
And
if
if they don't wanna make things right, or even if the judge don't wanna do things right, it's up to us to say it's time for you to go home. It's time for the citizens to take over Breathitt County and let them work for us.
Well, this is your county, we do work for him.
Yeah.
And I ain't saying that he's not qualified for it. Again, bring a name up and check your resume. But, you know, I just felt they should have come to me or Charlotte and said, hey, I don't know if you realize, not in July, we're going to move you out. Should have just done it here. I mean, it was just, didn't have a clue. You know, they wanted to add some stuff to the agenda, and that's your privilege. But, you know,
It's like a Pearl Harbor.
you know, that's not any way to do. And again, if you want to talk to them, I encourage you to talk to them. If you want to talk to me, I mean, I'll answer anything you want to ask me. My office is open in there. When I'm in there, that's your office. And you can come in there and ask me anything you want. If you're displeased with something I'm doing, I want you to tell me. And I'll try to correct it and do better. I promise you that.
As long as we've been displeased, as long as it's justified, that's my best. Should do what's right for the county and your office. That's all it is. It's for everybody to get together. Because honestly, it's, some things happen, maybe talking too much and more you guys, but some things that happen a disgrace for this county. How are we gonna move forward as a county when 5 men can't get along right here?
Well, you got three that won't even show up
And so, you know,
for
that's-
anything.
Well, even scripture says, you know, the house divided to fall.
It's an art.
The house divided to fall. We gotta work together and get over our differences.
Amen.
And again, I'm willing to do whatever I need to do, and
that's all we have to do.
yes, Al.
Do you know if KRS has changed any on personnel? My understanding was that the judge has to recommend.
Well, I'm checking into that. The way I understand it, a master can bring on a name, but I have to on personnel. I do know a treasurer is a physical court pick, but I still think they probably need to bring it to me and I present that name to be voted on.
That's the only.
And there's been some more stuff done, you know, that's been done. Again, they can add anything they want to in a meeting, but you know, still there's some stuff I'm looking at reversing and stuff, because I think well, if it's the right thing to do, that's what I'm gonna do.
Wow.
If I ain't got no say so in it, I'm not gonna, you know, get a pie in the face, thank you from it. But, and I'm not just talking from my stand, you're bringing these questions up tonight, but, my phone's been ringing off the hook, what's going on, and people have really been, upset, and I encourage them to come here and ask their questions, you know, and let's address it.
Well, my understanding always was in the past that Roy Darrell, him being a magistrate, if his interest in someone in a certain position, he has to go to you and get your approval and you recommend it. If you don't approve it or recommend it, Roy Darrell just will hush.
Well, that's the way I understand it. Again, I'm looking at all that, since this has happened, this is the first one on personnel. It's happened since I've been in here, and if it wasn't done the right way, we will undo it and, go through the proper procedure. I know, you know, we operate under Robert's Orders of Rules, and I'm not gonna say I'm right.
But I'm not saying that either, I just want to bring it to you.
But if what was done wasn't done right, it will be undone and voted on in the proper procedure. But again, I encourage you to talk to your magistrates and, you know, and see what the reason was. And again, I'm not taking sides that, well, I'll take that back. I don't want to say something that, you know, I've been in business for 40 years, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's right.
And that position is not broke.
I agree. I'd say that they'll never replace Charlotte with no better person. I'll say that because I've noticed on the bank, sheriff's office.
I agree with that too, I agree with that too. I agree with that.
You all been on the long I have, but there's nobody no more dedicated
Always nice and happy and pleasant and encouraging too. Very good. Good for the county.
She just, again, she
Good for the
just
county.
saying.
Good for
She was the best of the best.
Good for me too then.
I've heard that all.
Whenever you,
over and over.
when you let these people push it over the top of you, what's going on, you just well to go home because you've got a problem, you got to work. Amazing
You know, and that's why I say, if, you know, if it ain't, if it wasn't not wet, this bid's gonna be undone. Whatever I do, I want to be held accountable for it. And, again, when I get up in the morning, I don't know about Charlotte, but she's been out a time or two. As a matter of fact, she had a heart attack the other day, and again, 3 or 4 days, don't seem like a couple of weeks, but I missed her.
Now, she worked for me 8 years, 4 months. I think 1 year our books was off 5 cents. We had to send them a check for a penny. Because that's what they found, was a penny, 5 cents off. That was 8 years that I was in the sheriff's office. And we handled millions of tax dollars.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
And you made a comment there a minute ago about her hunting for some money, kept hunting. She kept me there at 9:30 one night, was trying to find a penny.
We tried to give it to her, didn't we?
I gave it to her. I said, "She's a penny over," I went right down the street, I said, "She's a penny short, here it is." She said, "It don't work that way."
and again, if you don't feel that way, Charlotte, I'd like for you to express your feelings to them.
Well, now, she's the best of the best.
And we love you, Charlotte.
Appreciate that, you are.
But I feel the same way, so. Yes.
This may be a silly question, I don't know. Like I have certain things that are deliverables that are in my job. Does the magistrates have deliverables in their job, certain things they are required to do?
Well, since all this has come up, I've been checking into it, been checking with other counties. I do think they are required to work. If they're gonna take the insurance, and all of them got insurance, they're supposed to work 40 hours a week, looks like to me. We got weeds at EB cut, and he was calling me. I feel as if they can meet for the weeds in their district, they can do their part too. And I've even asked some of them, they said they would work, so, you know, it's time to, put up.
Can, the auditor speak so he can leave, so he won't have to be out after dark.
Okay.
Driving.
Okay, we get one.
Right.
Okay. You wanna come up here or? Come up there. Everything else,
I'm Teddy Prater. I'm from Dauphin County, so you can't tell me anything about politics. My company has been in business since 2007, and since that time, that's been 12 years, we've probably done about 8 or 9 audits in Breathitt County for the fiscal court. And before that was for Judge Richardson, Judge Smith, and one before Judge Richardson, I can't think what his name was. Yeah, Wards, that's right. And we did a couple for him, so I'm pretty familiar with Breathitt County government. And audit is not to judge on people what they've done, it's to show what they're doing wrong and can improve on. And when you see these comments, there are things that need improving on. And it's our responsibility the next year to come in and see if these things have been taken care of. And everything that was in the 2017 audit, we found had been corrected, taken care of in one way or the other. And here's the 2018 audit, which we did, and completed in, I think, November, something like that. And what in comments, we didn't find anything that needed reporting on. There might have been 2 or 3 little things that were in the exit conference that we thought, well, they're not important enough to go into this for everybody to see. And we did. So there's nothing in this one. Now, an audit, what we do, when we get finished with the audit, we don't just bring it in here and give it to them. What we do is I contact the
auditor of public accounts, they have an audit manager for this area. I call him and say, the audit is ready for review. Okay, he contacts one of his field auditors, and I give them the audit, they review it and see if it's what it's supposed to be. Then when they get done with it, they send it on to Frankfurt, and it goes through 2 more checks down there. They review it 2 more times down there, and then they send me a letter that says it agrees with all auditing standards reasonably well. You know, it doesn't will be perfect, but reasonably well. So it's not just bring it in here and turn it over to the judge. It goes through 3 reviews after we finish. And if they find anything they don't agree with, they contact us. We go over it with them, and if it needs correcting what we did, we'll go ahead and do it. Then, in other words, they have to be satisfied with it. The state does. Through these 3 checks, 3 reviews, they have to be satisfied with the audit. One of the concerns, I think, was Public Properties Commission, the Justice Center. They just started putting that in the audit report a couple of years ago. And some counties, the ones that we did, there's been 2 or 3, this is not the only county that did put it in their report. There's been 2 or 3 others. So it takes a couple of years for people to get on something new. Plus, when you talk about the Public Properties Commission, public properties, that is a paper trail. There's no money to it. Money never hits Breathitt County, so it can't be misappropriated because it goes from the lender, goes from the state or whoever they got the money from, usually CACO or whoever, to whoever they owe it to. They don't run it through the county. All they do is send a notice of what they done. The county gets a report every month. Says the company that's handling this, we paid them this much, and then they paid somebody else this much. So there's no money there. There's no money there for the county. There's money goes from the bank somewhere to whoever they owe it to. So just the last couple of years, they started getting that audit report. And I think Charlotte didn't realize that for 2017. And like I said, we do several counties, and she's not the only one that didn't realize that. But once they're told about it, you'll see it in there the next year. So everything, the audit is just to show where you need to improve. And it's up to the county then to improve it. And when you have a comment, you need to do this and that, the officer, the judge, and the treasurer has an opportunity to say, well, here's what we're going to do next year. And then we have to put in our working papers how they're going to improve it, what they're going to do. Like on the public properties where it was left off the prior year financial statement, we have to say, they had to say, well, we're going to make sure that it's on next year's. Now, when we take a comment out, we just don't say, yeah, they did it right. We have to come up with proof of how they did it. Just like the occupational tax that was in there, said it was deposited on a timely basis. Well, what we did, we went back and checked the deposits. Was it made every day? Yeah. So we put that, we copied that and put it in our work papers as proof of that. So everything that we said that was corrected, we don't just say, yeah, they corrected it. We put it in the work papers. The state reviews it. They say, yes, it was corrected. And then we don't put it in. If it hasn't been corrected, it will be in the next year's work paper. Sometimes what happens is the audit's so late that they don't have time to correct it. Like they may not get their audit report back, or may not get the prior year audit, might not be finished till maybe March or April. Well, by that time, that year's almost over with. You can't correct it then, and you don't have time. So sometimes they'll be from one year to the next year because you just don't have to spend. Some years we just got finished doing an audit for 2017. They couldn't correct the 2016 comments, or they can't correct the 2017 comments because this is 2019. That's 2 years ago. So sometimes they'll flow through like that. But we found all the comments that were in the 2000 report were corrected, I believe. But I'll look and see. And I don't see any comments in this one, so they must have been. So this is clean reportable. And as far as, I don't know, I've looked around the room, I don't know if I've seen, I don't know anybody in Breathitt County, even though I'm from Golf, and I just know the people I've worked with here in the past. I've seen them. I think I've been talking to the judge maybe once or twice. I don't even know if I have that. But I know Charlotte, I've seen his name for the last so many years, but I don't know if I've ever seen him before. And solid waste man. But I've seen his name, but I don't know if I've seen him. But for being independent, I don't know anybody here. I'm not involved with anything here. And we have signed a paper that we are independent, that we're not connected in any way with the Breathitt County government. We don't have any relationship to anybody here outside the professional relationship. And we do several counties. Like we did a state contract. When you get a state contract, they vet you thoroughly, and we kept it, and they start from the top and go down. So the top one gets to say, yeah, we'll take that county at that bid, or we reject it. So we got stuff. We were the first on the list, so we got what we wanted on it. So last couple of years we've been doing fiscal reports. We do 9 or 10. The guy I work with, he was retired from the state auditor's office. He has 47 years of experience. I've been doing this for 19 years. His wife helps us. She worked for the auditor's office a while, then went to the finance and cabinet administration where she was the deputy director. So I feel we're well qualified to do audits. We do large ones. We do Madison County down here, which has a budget of approximately $25 million. And by the way, they pay their treasurer about $72,000, something like that. Down to we do an housing, we do a wolf. I've been in about every county in eastern Kentucky from I-75 back this way, plus a lot in the other ways, which I've been doing this 19 years. Before that, I retired from teaching after 27 years. I survived it.
Are those allowed to be published in the local papers?
I don't hear well either.
Are they allowed to be published in the local papers?
I did.
It's already been published. Plus, you can come in here and get a copy of it, but they have to charge you. According to the state, they got to charge you, I don't know, nickel pay or something like that. You get your own copy. Plus, the audit report, which I've already supposed to have done, but not yet. It's on the auditor's website. If you go to the Kentucky Auditor of Public Accounts, you can go to Wolf County, and you see all their audits for the last, I don't know, seems like about 98 or so like that. That includes the fiscal court, sheriff, clerk, sheriff's tax settlements, PVA, plus a couple or 3 other things too. So you can look at it online. After probably tomorrow, I'll send it in. You can look at it a little bit. We've been awful busy. And it gets sent in yet, so I'll give it to them. It takes about a week to put it on the website, so about a week you go there and look at this right here on the auditor's website. But we work right with the auditor's office. We can't do a thing unless they approve it.
I've already published it in the paper here. And they published it right above the half of the page that the magistrate was complaining about. So it's right here. And if anybody wants a copy, come in here and get it. We'll make you a copy. Okay?
But I think that's required. She has 30 days to publish it. And the Department of Local Government has a manual, and it tells you exactly what has to be published. So all you got to do is look at that manual, and it goes there. Now, you might be surprised a little bit when you see this, because it says, it starts out, the financial statements, according to general, and this is what most people go by, generally accepted accounting principles. It says that you don't follow them. So, but in Kentucky, you're not supposed to follow. There's only 5 counties in Kentucky that follows generally accepted accounting principles. Kentucky does a regulatory basis of the county, and the Department of Local Government controls that. State legislature gave them through KRS the ability to do that. And whatever, if you have a question, you go to the Department of Local Government. And they send out this big manual, Charles got a copy of it, there's a copy of it online, you'll see what the county has to do, and it tells you all about it. Anybody have a question?
I appreciate you taking time to come and explain that to them, and again, her audit was a good audit last year.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And unless I get a state contract, which they, way they do state contracts, they sucker you in. They put two real good counties, and they lay you a couple of niggers on it. And I've done enough to bid on it. But otherwise, outside of that, we don't deal with counties that we don't think are real. So we've got 4 that we've done, probably out of the last 15 years. But we can't do them we do them 3 years, and then the state has to do them a 4th year. We've got about 4 counties that we've done that for the last 12 years. We've done 3 years, state doesn't want, this is one of them. And if we didn't, if the records aren't good, that's what we go by. We go by whether we like the people or what. We go by good records. If the records aren't good, we're not coming back. That's as simple as that.
Mr. Prater,
Because we don't have to.
for the statement the masters put in the paper, they referenced the 2016, or the audit for the 2016 year ended for the Breathitt County Business Board.
16 or 17?
16. Did
Okay.
you do the 16 audit? You did. So you issued finding about $270,000 for MAP trucks that didn't get recorded, right?
Yeah, that's like I said, that's
Right.
another paper transaction.
Right, but just for plain as day reference on it, let's see, your findings, you found not one dime
No.
money missing in connection to
No,
Charlotte.
no,
Say
that's-
again, no?
No money missing.
There we go.
There's no money missing. As we can find, but, we can't, I can't say 100% guarantee that.
And the other audits that you've done for the state, or for Breathitt County, I don't know if you did the sheriff's, and I think the state conducted the audit, so.
No, we don't-
that
we don't
audits
do
came
fiscal
back, You didn't pull those, all right.
Used to do sheriffs, but anymore the state takes the position that we'll do the sheriff's first. Some fiscal courts, which I used to do sheriffs. I did court. But, it's a busy year. And actually, going toward the it's like I said, we can't ever guarantee anything like that.
But the implication that they gave in the paper was that by not recording $207,000 for those MAP trucks, that it had put the road fund overspent by an I'm thinking it was $180,000, is that right, Charlotte? But that is not reflected that the money was not there.
No, that's only reflected per budget. I would say that.
So that would be a dishonest assertion.
Well,
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, how about that?
You know they would do that.
I just did.
What it was.
it would be a confusing assertion.
Well, would it be misleading so as to say that?
Just depends who looks at it for the legislator or not. I'm not going to get into anything like that. But that's another paper transaction. Usually what you do is below the line item.
Yeah.
It's not operating expenses.
Right.
And a lot of counties, most counties around here do that because it's a good deal. You buy these trucks, use them for a year, they keep putting the maintenance on them, then you send them off, this guy takes them off, sends them off, usually for around 80–90% of what you pay for them. So you use a new truck with maintenance for a whole year for not very much, for a lot less than it costs you to pay payments on you.
Right.
It's a good deal.
And what that reflected on that, normally, or used to, they would send a $270,000 check to the county,
Yeah.
and they would deposit and pay on it, but what happened in this one, they went ahead and paid it to Worldwide directly.
That's correct.
And that's why Charlotte didn't have recorded, because she didn't get the 270, it went directly to Worldwide, and, if you don't show, we got money, and we didn't record that we got any money, so therefore the 270 come in, it wasn't nothing to do with Charlotte not recording, it wasn't paid to the county to record, it was paid directly to Worldwide.
But on their behalf, it's still county money,
Yeah.
so you got to account for all county money.
And that's why we had to do the transaction, the financial transaction, when you all come in to audit to correct that. Yes.
And my understanding, I don't know if they was a county that didn't go through the same thing on that one when it was recorded. I was told. But either way, Charlotte didn't get the check to the deposit, and it went directly to Worldwide, and she still would have had to make a transaction that we got the 270 and she didn't because we didn't receive it.
It's just like public properties. The state makes the payments for this building over here. They don't send the money to the county and say, you pay them. They pay them straight. Then they send you the record of the payment. So there's no money, no cash money involved. It's all paper trail. Same way with that.
Does the county make the payments on those trucks? Or you say the state pays?
The county leases that truck, and,
And they make payments every month?
We make interest payments.
and then at the end of the year, we turn around and sell it,
And you get how much?
and then,
You give 100,000 for it, say, you get how much of that back when you sell it?
Depends on what the market is. Usually you get a pretty good deal.
I have seen some of them around going to go.
Yeah, there's a couple places like
well, you're
that.
not recorded, right, when we get for it.
Usually-
Because they said at auction, and we would get this state prices and at least. But I haven't, I don't know, I haven't done a figure to see, well, we haven't sold it, that's why I haven't done the numbers. Supposed to be done in March, was it? March, and they look it up to June. But once they sell, then they can take how much interest they pay and figure out how much it costs to shoot it for the year.
It's a lease purchase. They can purchase it to their
Some of this,
Hopefully June, I guess, get it for June.
You can purchase the trucks, you don't sit them on auction, you keep them, you don't pay for them. And people take, you start making Christmas payments into this take over the lease from. Like I said, a lot of counties do that. Some they think it's a good deal. One of these days, it might not be a good deal. It's just like playing everything else, you're taking a chance.
We don't have a match.
Couldn't cost a whole lot.
I got to go back and say,
But you get, they maintain them.
Depending on which contract you got. One we got, we had to get broke down for 2 months. When I came in with this guy about a month ago, we didn't have a complete service package. They different packages.
Yeah.
Or required motor transmission variants.
And so they do a lot of maintenance. So everybody thinks it's a good deal as of now. Like you said, it might fall apart in another year or so. You don't know. But they're good trucks and they're needed, so you can't be hurt there.
But again, we appreciate you coming and explaining that audit, and Charlie did have a good audit and a clean audit, so what you may have read in the paper that you thought wasn't a good audit was misleading, to say the least.
They were comments in the statements 2017, and they go by the book 100%. You're supposed to pay all your invoices within 30 days. But if you go 31 days, they'll write you up within later days. We use a more common sense approach. I'm not knocking theirs. They're like the state auditors is the best that you can find. But if it's 31 days, 32 days, we'll kind of give you the benefit of the doubt on that, where they won't. And on the payments, since they just happened, where those start with a couple, 3 checks that weren't paid, weren't posted or deposited for them out, it happens. I did one sheriff one time, and the sheriff had gone out, and the new sheriff came in, and they were rearranging the furniture, and they found a check 6 months old behind the desk for the old sheriff. So stuff like that happens, you know.
Sometimes, Stevie, don't we get checks that has been dated, like when we receive them, they may be dated 10 or 15 days before that we even receive them. Have you seen those cases before where that's happened?
Oh, let me comment on that. The reason I trace out of all the money that comes in, I can confirm probably anywhere usually from 85 to 90% of it. Like if you get $10 million, I'd be able to say, well, I know where 9 million, 9.5 million they come from. The state sends me a list of every check they give to Breathitt County. And I go down that list, matches up to her books, and with her books, we know matches the bank, because they would bounce if they did. And I go through and check every check. and make sure that it's on our books. If there's one missing, we trace it down. We have one county that's missing 4 or 5, and they called down at the state treasurer and traced them down, got their money down. We have one county, their check was, their county's name is similar to another. Their money keeps going to this other county all the time. And it was a problem. Plus, they're bad to send money to the wrong account, make automatic deposits. So automatic comes in, she never sees the check, she doesn't know she gets it till the end of the month, gets her bank statement. There it says the EFT. We got $100,000 from the state, we didn't know that till then. And that happens, but it's a whole lot to keep up with.
It's just like even today, we got a check that was the right address, it was our check, but it had Bullitt County on it.
Yeah.
Sometimes we send it back and get the right check, I mean, you can be months, they didn't get it.
Yeah. But this is clear.
Thank you. Anybody else got a question?
I don't have a question, but I have to say,
Okay.
we have a deficit in our county, we need money. We have grants that are available if we make an effort to raise, just make an effort to raise taxes on like cigarettes and tobacco. We need to at least consider getting all the money we can get for free. You know, and if we have to make a minimal investment in ourselves, in our county, we should be able to do that, at least look at it, to get free money to help our county.
Well, you know, like when I was running, you know, people ask you about raising taxes. I've been in business for 40 years. Ain't nobody pay taxes anymore than I do. If you are, you don't like it. And again, we've got bills that has to be paid.
Yeah.
And if this light still goes across, and again, I mean, we rake and scrape, and I mean, when I say rake and scrape, I mean, you have to wait, we've raked right to the last day to be able to make payroll.
You can't keep robbing accounts to pay other accounts. You gotta have money come in somewhere.
Well, this is beginning of May. We've got May and June, and we got 2 more months, and I mean, you heard what I read off, and,
So, can we at least look at?
you know, being in this seat, you have to look at whatever you need to look at. I don't know about you all, but my weekend has been spent trying to figure out where we're gonna come up with enough money to pay the difference in the treasury. If we are required by the law to raise the sheriff's salary up to $61,700, we're gonna come up with that.
You're gonna have to look at raising taxes. So if you have to look at raising taxes, we should at least look at the ones that's gonna give us grant money back for doing it.
And there are grants out there, no doubt. And I've looked, again, I pray every morning this last Lord to give me wisdom and send people my way to be able to fix these problems. I'm gonna continue to pray that. You know, but, do I want to raise taxes? Absolutely not. Are we gonna have to? I'm not gonna say absolutely not. When I was running, I probably would have said absolutely not. But, you know,
Unfortunately,
at the end of the day, you gotta pay your bills.
we gotta pay our bills and we gotta be responsible for our own selves.
You turn my electric off if I don't pay.
And again, I'm not sitting here pointing anybody out, you know, but I mean, if we are, we gotta pay it.
We gotta pay our bills, but we gotta be good stewards of our money.
That's right. Amen.
And that don't seem to me like that's happening.
Well, like I say, I just encourage you all.
I mean, if we just turn around and get rid of somebody that's done a super job and give somebody a $6,000 raise, that's not big steward, is it?
And he, I don't know, we have to check his track record, but what kind of track record does he have?
I mean, he might be just as good as her, but that,
It's not even just that. If you go back and read the audit reports from 2016 and all the rest, it says in there every time that we don't have adequate controls to make sure that all the policies that we've got in place are even enforced. And every time you read the response, it's because the county doesn't have the resources to do it. We haven't hired enough people. We didn't have enough people to do the FEMA projects. They decided that they saved so much money because they didn't hire people at the road department. When people retired, they would put back on. They're standing there right now about the road foreman. But we don't have the talent that the state and the law promises us and says that we're all entitled to as taxpayers. You're being underserved right now by your government. And there are 3 people that are costing.
Well, we still got to pay our bills. That's the thing. We got bills, we got to pay them, you know.
We don't have any money. We can't get the resources we need. This is why Breathitt County deserves it. And that's why I came down here to help this judge and do the best I could to deliver for everybody. Because this is where I was born and this is my home. And I am tired as hell of seeing people walk off and not giving you what you need. I'm tired of seeing Poplar do better. I'm tired of seeing Nashville do better. We should have a shot. And this is how we get it.
This is my thing, and I think most citizens here agree. Every time that I'm in the paper, or our county is in the paper, it's because we end up looking bad. We're represented bad. We're not bad people here. We're good people here. It's always negative, and it's always something that makes us look like we're not real smart people, and we are. We're smarter than anybody else.
But now that's something we gotta do is change this too. We're not bad people. And the bad people ain't got us outnumbered. We just allow them to speak louder.
We do, and I think.
You go to these restaurants and you hear everything negative.
Yep.
But when you go to these restaurants and say, hey, it ain't that bad. Look what we have done.
Well,
you know, when I started, I read these things and then we've got a lot of good things going in the county. But again, you gotta have a resource. You gotta pay your bills.
You gotta pay your bills. And again, we may have, like I said, if we have to raise taxes, and I honestly don't see us not having to raise taxes. Everybody else in the state's having to raise taxes. But if we have to do it, we need to do it on things that is going to get us grant money back in here to help our county out. Not just take money out of our pockets without getting anything back.
When something like that happens, we need to show what money to bring and where every penny of it goes.
So we need to do some investigation as to what are good grants I mean, anything what would be viable and beneficial to us to raise taxes on if we have to raise taxes.
Then you have to guarantee if you raise taxes, 4 years down the road, we get back the same thing, want more of my money. When I overspend my budget, I can't raise taxes. That's what everybody here has to do.
There's actually even grants out there, if you just even try to raise taxes, I think on tobacco products, you get grants. You at least gotta try. So if you try and show a good faith effort, if you get grant money for that'd be your way. That's not right not to try. Yeah, we gotta see it from all sides. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
We elected you because we saw your campaign as a new road for Breathitt County. We want you as our judge. We're here. You were elected. We elected each magistrate, each district did. We want you all to work together and represent us in a favorable way to move our county forward. And I think that's what we all want.
Well, that's all we are, your voice be, your mouthpiece, you know.
Yeah, and so that's what I'm saying out front, and I would like that relayed again to our magistrates.
Well, the other magistrates said.
Yeah, and I don't know how to get it across to them. I think everybody else is frustrated with that too. I don't
I'll say
know.
this,
We don't know how to get it across to them.
They raised those property taxes last year. I got a piece of land that's worthless, except to us, giving up 10 grand. And as far as paying taxes, people in Breathitt County were so smart, we voted for a 5% tax for the school system. They wound up probably in a 40% tax. It's 5% on everything. And they're not even gonna build a new school. They're gonna build an office.
You live in the city limits, you'll pay 3 times.
I've been talking 3 times.
But again, I mean, you know, that's something everybody's sick of. Again.
The one grant that I'm referring to
Tiff, I'd just like to know, buddy, we as people, I'm sure that probably every district in our county is represented here, more than likely. And we as each individual district, we voted for the master that we thought would do the best job. We as each district also turned around and voted for the person who we thought would be the best to do the judge's job. Well, therefore, my question, I've got probably going to be 3 questions tied up into one. Their job, if I understood it when I voted for the master that I chose, his job was to drive over my road. If it needed gravel, gravel it. If it needed grade, grade it. So that's what I did. I voted for, because I thought when they didn't follow through with their problem, which was my problem, then I was to come to you and you was to correct them. They had no, but it's turned around that evidently they have all say so. And if I come and talk to you and you say, yeah, we're going to do that, and then you have to tell them, then they turn around and say, no, we ain't doing it. And, you know, and it just don't calculate out. And, you know, there are magistrates for out in the communities, in the districts. You're a judge to lead us in office up here in the courthouse to maintain peace through them, to make sure that they do what they need to do in their district. And Charlotte Bailey, I love her. She's a very important person in my life. Her and Clarence both. How, and they got to be something other than the community. With a person, the backbone, she's the backbone of this courthouse. Been in here as long as probably the most now. How can 3 stand up and say, we don't no longer want her? Me and Charlotte talked the other day, it ought to be Charlotte's choice unless Mr. Noble says, you know, Charlotte, you need to go home. It ought to be 3 individuals who, they shouldn't be the ones speaking for the county. We're the county. We voted them in. And Charlotte ought to be the one to say, hey, I'm finished now. I've done you a perfect job. Now, if Charlotte was ripping us off, then I just don't understand that. It ought to be totally up to you and Charlotte. And I love you, Charlotte. And I love her county.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, you all did elect me for the judge, and I'll give you 110%, I promise. You're probably as confused as I am. We get in there and get in a court meeting and then just make a motion to do this and do that. And I promise you one thing, I've got it wrote down here, so don't forget it. And it's regarding this recent election of Miss Smith as the county treasurer. And again, I'm not talking about another person, I'm talking about the position. Just like many of you, I'm surprised. I mean, I was blindsided by it. The county treasurer doesn't even begin until July 1st. Here they done this a couple weeks ago, without even speaking to me or them or Roy Darrell. I mean, any decision needs to go through all of us. I mean, you elected all of us, and this is your county. But, you know, I fully intended to bring Charlotte back as a nominee for the treasurer. Hadn't even thought 1 second about changing that position. And again, I'm not talking about him, but I mean, you know, Charlotte is a jewel. And again, unfortunately, Master decided to do this on her own without even involving me or Roy Darrell. You know, and I think their decision on planning Mr. term begin July 1st, I want everybody to know right now, the next meeting, if it isn't legal for them to do that in that position, I promise you that I'll make a motion to rescind his election at the next regular court meeting. I promise you that. And I do
It
feel.
sounds like you have an illegal meeting amongst the 3, what's happening.
Well, rear water form, and I even talked to them, and I told them if they had something to discuss with me, to come in there one at a time. You know, sometimes you can't help getting there, but I mean, be around each other, but you can't discuss county business, you can't make decisions. It's impossible not running each other out on the street, but I mean, just have a forum is illegal. But Charlotte's done a fine job, and she deserves another term. And I want to encourage you all to call Master Bush more intentional and let them know that you know, if you don't want this this decision, let them know it, tell them. Ask them to give you a reason, they may have good reason, you may agree with them. But I'm gonna agree, you know. Charlotte's a good godly woman. And I love her, and she deserves a better term. And again, you know, I thought, coming in there as a judge, I would make the decision, the final decision, and bring the name. But it ain't went that way. But I promise you, things that's been done that should have been done, gonna be undone.
Roy down or magistrate too?
Yeah.
Because you didn't none of these rules, what that they do.
I'm with the judge, I think he's doing the right thing.
I kept this position an honor. And you see me doing something you ain't pleased with, tell me. I want you to come down here. I'm human, but I'm into it. You're not wrong, right? But I'm human. Mom told me a long time ago, I don't want them to make any mistakes as long as they didn't do nothing. But, you know, I promise you that I'll do the best I can. One thing it has done, it's brought me closer to the Lord than I've ever been.
Yep.
I promise you that.
Okay.
But,
I will say this, Jeff had a bunch that comes to the help.
Yep.
We had 25 people, local government up there. Your teacher.
I'm in a meeting right now.
18 years district.
Can he call you back? Okay.
That right, Jeff?
yeah, that's right. Me and you was on the one that. And again, we're supposed to go Friday, and I hope we all go down there. Sandy Dollar, you pretty much, you know, the commissioner said y'all need to work together. Or at least in public. You know. But we do, like I say, a house divided to fall. And again, I'm not saying I'm right all the time, and I won't ever say that. But I'll do my best to make a wrong or right any way I can.
I mean, if Jeff makes a motion leaving the wrong district, they'll vote no.
Just this past week, I gave everybody in the district, I said, you all are a person, and I want to use one of the bridge crew, and I'm cutting grass and getting things done, and I told them to pick one out of each district. I picked one out of my district, and Roy Darrell, he didn't even wanted to go along with him. And they promised him, boy, they'll give him a job, and they come in here when they vote for it. So, you know, and I talked to one of them this morning, I told him, I said, you probably never get a job while I'm in here. I don't think I'll even bring it back up. I mean, and give you a word on something other than shake your hand, that would be worth something. That hasn't found out too good yet. Anybody got anything you want to say or say to Charlotte, or, again, I appreciate y'all coming out.
I just have an announcement. The judge has come several times to our Unite and our ASAP Coalition meetings. Those have changed to the health department. Our next one will be May 9th at 12 o'clock over at the health department. I also want you to know that Unite has given us a small sum of money to host a town hall meeting, and we're looking at dates in August. So if you all see us around town, and we've got several kids enlisted, we've got a Facebook page, it's called Stronger Together. So we've brought together Jackson City students and Breathitt High students, and we're trying to bridge those gaps there, because it looks like we've got a lot of bridges to build in Breathitt County. And we're starting with our youth, so if you get an invitation from one of these kids, please take it serious enough to show up to the meetings, because they're looking at you as our leaders. They're our future leaders. If you're interested, we've not set a date, we're looking at August, but our next meeting is May 9th at 12 o'clock at the health department. If you can't come, you all can send me a message or call me, but please do take it serious that if they've invited you, they feel like that you deserve a seat at the table. And even if you don't get a personal invitation, you're invited. You have a seat at the table. But please take the time to come.
And I do appreciate your hard work, and with you and And another thing I want to make an announcement on, also on May the 9th, I don't know how many has heard of Spark, Janelle Brewer. And my wife works at Hazard, and actually there was a person, and this one here is from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. It's also at the health department, but it's pertaining to Casey's Law. We got another problem in the county, and it's devastating. It's a drug problem. And every family in here has been affected by it. If you have to get on your knees and thank you, good Lord, you don't have to. Because I have. I've got brothers in the cemetery, and got a nephew right now, he's in recovery.
We've got, like you said, we've got problems that we're gonna have to try to address. Spark is a wonderful program, they're looking for volunteers. If you've not had the opportunity to hear their testimony or anything about Casey's Law, it's quite moving. If any of you all have ever heard Nancy Hale speak with Operation Unite, she has a personal story of opioid addiction. We've seen suicide rates go up 30% since the 13 Reasons Why video series come out. So our kids deserve a voice. They've suffered, we've suffered. I had a brother-in-law that committed suicide. We've all got a story that needs to be heard, but we've also got a future we've got to build. And if you don't care enough to come to the table, it's almost like we're just going to close that bridge to build another.
There you go, there's your two places to go tonight. 11 o'clock at the health department, 6 o'clock at the health department. And I encourage you, I've heard enough people several times, and it's moving, and it's real. And I haven't seen her since she went up to see in front, and she actually went to, in reality or something other than local front was there, so.
That was the RX Summit in Atlanta. He came to speak.
I would just like to say that I appreciate what you're doing. I know it's rough on you because you're a member of my church, but I've had a lot of good sermons preached the last couple months, trying to help Jeff along, and we just need to stand behind him. I hear a lot of negative. Why is Jeff doing that? Why don't he vote this? From what I can understand, he can't vote. It's 2 to 3. 3 always wins, right? And so I try to explain to people that you don't know the whole story. They need to find out the whole thing, and so I encourage you to keep on keeping on, and the Lord will prevail.
Yeah.
It might be 4 years from now, but He will prevail. Mary said it was 4 days late, but He was right on time. And He will be right on time. And our county will be an exhibit to other counties. They'll say, man, look at that. Look what God can do.
Amen. Let's whose hand is in.
I love you.
Please do.
And her. All of you.
You looking at the piece of meat?
Some what?
Is that meat?
That's why I was late. I think you're early. Come on.
You feed
I put you to work in the morning, early.
Anybody got anything they want to say?
I just want to say that I love Sean, Clarence Paul. Been a friend of mine for years. My wife died. Just love it.
We kind of pull Clarence out, ain't we? All the Charlotte.
Mary Clarence and Steph Rose. We've always had a good time on the Clarence.
Yes.
Anybody else?
Good people.
I agree. Anybody? All right, hearts and minds are clear. We dismiss. Oh, we dismiss. I'm gonna ask Tommy if he dismissed. Did you want to say something? Did you say something? Oh,
Okay, I just,
you dismissed the prayer.
Lord, we just thank you for you, for being God, for being Jesus, being our Son. He died on the cross that we can have eternal life. We have to endure it. You tell us if we endure to the end, we're going to receive glory in heaven, crowns of righteousness. So So I pray, Lord, that we will continue to endure. We will stand behind our county judge, our county people that are Christians who love the Lord. We'll also be a witness for you to the ones that aren't. And we might be an example. Just bless our county, help it to grow, Lord, help it to be an example to all the people around us. But again, we just thank you, Lord, for being God and loving each and every one of us, more than we can even understand, more than we can even know. You love us so much. Thank you for that. Bless us as we go home. Watch over, protect us, give us traveling mercies. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Again, thank y'all for coming.